What a year it has been for Coach Miller and the UNCG Spartans, capped off with the program's first appearance in the postseason since 2002. I think we have a lot of good things to talk about here on the finale. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Wes Miller Show, presented by the UNCG Alumni Association, the finale of Season 1. Alongside the Coach Wes Miller, I am Luke Martin. Coach, it's great to see you for one final time this year on the program, and I have to say, after going full throttle for a while, have you been able to catch up on some sleep recently, or are the gears still going full throttle?
Well, you know, we thought we were done there after the conference tournament, and you had kind of that week, and it's like a hangover after you lose and you think the season's over. So you have that week where you're just, struggling to kind of put one foot in front of the other, wishing you were still playing. And rarely in life do you get second chances, and we got that call and got the second chance to play in the CBI. So I did catch up on a little bit of sleep that week. I don't know if it's the kind of sleep you'd like, but then we got back into that CBI, and we've been kind of rocking and rolling since then. And people don't realize this, Luke, but there really is no off season in college basketball. So when you finish the year, certainly your routine changes a little bit. You're not in practice every day, but we're doing a lot of the other things that go on when you're running and operating in the men's basketball program in Division I athletics. And we're in recruiting right now. We're working on getting our guys to finish out the academic year strong. We're going to start off-season workouts here pretty soon in about a week. And then obviously there's just a ton of other day-to-day things that go on. So it's a pretty busy time of year. We get to June and August, we might have some time to kick back and take some vacation, but right now we're rocking and rolling.
How valuable was that experience? You mentioned about wanting your guys to get the experience of playing late in March, and not just doing that, but against very good teams. You beat Houston Baptist, and then you go on the road against a team that finished second in their league in the Mid-American Conference, Ohio, and took them all the way down to the wire.
Yeah, it was a great experience. And then, you mentioned it's not just the games but the practices, and being able to get back out there and get practices under our belt for our younger guys, continuing to build that cohesiveness as a team. And we really kept it simple. After being off 8 days, there's only so much you can do, but we kept practice simple and really working on the things that we really value here. I thought we took some steps defensively in that time. I mean, we had some great defensive segments in practice. I think our guys, certain rotations and responsibilities seemed to click, especially for some of our younger guys. I mean, I was really pleased with the way guys like Demetrius Troy and Francis Alonzo approach those practices from a defensive point of view, which I think is going to bode well for us moving forward. And like you said, I thought Houston Baptist, I don't know how well we played, but we figured out a way. And I think that's what good teams do even when they don't play well. And I don't think it's because we didn't want to play well. I just think we'd been off, And then we played great at Ohio in a really tough environment against a team that had a really good chance to win their league and go to the NCAA tournament. And we're up 15 with 7.5 left, and we played well enough to win. I think we should have won the game, but give credit to them and the run they made to get back into it. And it was another one of those games that I think this offseason, we can use with our team in terms of how we have to improve, how we have to continue to take steps, because so many times this year we're in a position to close a game out. And, we weren't able to do that. And I think that's the next step. And those are the details and the one or two possessions that so many college games come down to. Every time you're doing an extra rep in the weight room, every time you're finishing off a drill in a workout, every time you're in the gym shooting, you're working on winning one or two more possessions. It is really that fine of a line between winning and losing. So I think that's something we can draw on moving forward. So even though we didn't come out how we wanted at Ohio, Luke, I think it was a good way to end our season in terms of preparing us for the next year.
Every player is important. No one's more important than any other. But I know this senior class was really special to you, specifically a guy like Kayel Locke. One of the images I remember is you hugging him after the Furman game, thinking that may be the last time we get to see Kayel wearing a UNCG uniform. What did it mean for you knowing that Kayel was the first guy to say yes to you, to come to UNCG, to stay all 4 years, and then ultimately, I know you wanted to get him to the NCAA tournament on the biggest stage of them all, but to still finally get him into the postseason and continue his career for 2 more games?
Yeah, it was, it's emotional to think about Kayel because, like you just said, the first guy that ever said yes to me as a head coach, and that's not just that, but, when somebody chooses to believe in you, for the first time when nobody else ever has, that's important, and that means a lot to me and my family, and then just the relationship I've been able to build with him over 4 years. And it hadn't always been pretty. I mean, Kay will be the first to tell you, but we have a real relationship, a genuine relationship, and man, I love him like he's one of my own, that type of thing, and love his family, and he'll always be a Spartan here. I hate that I wasn't able to get him to the NCAA tournament. You know, you mentioned that. That's a regret I'll always have. But as I told him and the team, you know, as we make those steps as a program, hopefully we're in the NCAA tournament in the near future, and Kayel's going to be able to look at a team playing, you know, on that first or second weekend or third, maybe that third weekend, right? I'm a big dreamer, and say I was a part of that process of getting there, and he really was. I mean, to stick it out for 4 years, and he really played a big leadership role on this year's team and helped us take a step culturally. The success we have moving forward, he'll be a byproduct of that success, and he really, I hope, will take a lot of pride in watching our teams play moving forward and know that he was a big part of what this program was able to do.
For as much as this team went through this year, we spoke about the adversity, everything on, off the floor. What's going to be your lasting image and impression of this team?
Well, yeah, I love how this team kind of came together as a group and kind of just kept at it every day. You know, I don't have any, you know, crazy words to describe it, any headlines for you, Luke. I just love that no matter what happened, we played well and won. They came back and practiced the next day. We struggled and had a bad night, and things seemed to not go our way. We came back and practiced the next day, and they had that everyday kind of mentality that we all want as a coach. And you got to take the process one day at a time, and this team embodied that for the first time since I've been at UNCG in a consistent manner. And I thought it was good to see them get some results at the end of the year. Maybe not the results that I want, and I had high standards, but we finally got some positive results, and I think that's something that this program can continue to build on and improve on. But I think this team really set a standard for how you're supposed to approach it on a day-to-day basis.
And this team set that standard, and we'll see what the future Spartans can do. And we'll speak about next year's team in the final segment with Coach in just a moment. But we've reached our first timeout in the show. When we come back, one of the three seniors, Asad Lamont, joins us for one more final time.
Hi, I'm Barbara Corcoran. To sell your home on time for the most money, you need a sharp agent with a marketing strategy that creates the most demand. Bottom line, you need a partner willing to put their own money on the line for you. In Greensboro and Winston-Salem, it would be Jason Bramblett. He attracts hundreds of buyers and creates so much demand that Jason can guarantee if your home doesn't sell at a price and deadline you agree to, he will buy it. Partner with the agent I trust. Go online or call and get your home sold.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Wes Miller Show, presented by UNCG Alumni Association. The old man joins us here for one final time on the Wes Miller Show. That is none other than Asad Lamont. Asad, great to have you. Now, I know a lot of guys refer to you as old man, and you see the bench every now and then arch their backs when you make a big three, but you're really not that old, are you? Do you feel that old?
Nah, not really.
No.
Sometimes, maybe after a game or something, I feel a little old.
I'm sure maybe now that your career is finally over, you start to feel a little bit older, I should say. But as I mentioned, has it sunk in yet that you've played your last game here at UNCG?
Kinda, because I'm starting to miss it already. Like, I wish we were still playing somehow, like the season just didn't end, you know? It's like when I took my jersey out, I didn't even want to take it off that last final game that we played. I really just wanted to keep it, like, you know, just thinking about it, it was like, you know, this is my last time being with my guys, you know what I'm saying? So that was the only thing that I really thought of, you know, how much I would miss it. And instantly I did.
Take me through the last week before the CBI tournament. You guys lose in Asheville in the Southern Conference tournament. You probably think at that time you're going on spring break, that your season's over. What was your first reaction when you heard that the season's not over, you guys have a chance to keep playing?
At first I was like, wow, how are we going to do this? Like, we literally just changed our mindset to, like, not do anything. Like, I hadn't touched the ball in, like, a full week, and then we had a game. We found out we had practice the next day. We just really thought we were going to be out of shape, but, like, so that same day we found out, like, I was like, man, I guess I better get in the gym. And, you know, I tried to run a little bit, get myself prepared. I mean, but once the game came around in practice, like, it was almost like we didn't miss a beat. Like, it was just almost like we just took a day off almost, and we weren't really out of shape as we thought we were going to be. And it turned out we were more prepared than we thought because we got that first win.
I know the goal always is to make the NCAA tournament. That's the biggest tournament that everybody wants to be a part of. But even though you were unable to do that during your time here at UNCG, how important was it to you to still make the postseason, and what was that experience like playing the CBI?
It was pretty cool because, like a lot of my friends that were playing college ball, a lot of their seasons are over, so they're just, chilling around. They don't have nothing to do, and it was pretty cool to be like one of those final teams that, like all the schools in America and all that, be one of those final teams that actually be playing, So I know the NCAA is the one everybody wants to get to, but unfortunately even like the head teams in some conferences don't make it. So, it felt great to still be a part of something and knowing that we started something. So that was a step and something. We could have been doing nothing, but we made a postseason tournament, and then it's still a step because next year it could possibly be the NCAA one. So the guys that's under us have an experience of how it is to play deep in March now, and that gives them a little bit more of an advantage, I feel.
You talked about the younger guys getting this experience. For you guys as seniors, you, Kayel, Michael Adams, what was your message to them and to this team moving forward? And you guys are glad that you were able to get them to the postseason tournament, but to understand the CBI is not the goal. You want to continue to raise the bar. What was your message to them as seniors before you saw them for the last time?
Just continue the process. This year we really felt that we started something, and our message was just to continue. We know that we started something great here, and we're only going to go up from here, and we just told them to keep working. I know these guys are going to be great leaders like Marvin. He's not going to get out of the room. He's not going to stop working. He works for everything he gets. Deontay, he's going to be a great leader. So guys like that's stepping up into a higher role, we left it in great hands because they have no choice but to be fortunate because those guys are going to set the standard. And that's, those are two great leaders to, take our place. They might fulfill them even better, So we know that we're just going to continue to build from here. The program's going to continue to take steps. And those younger guys are like freshmen, like Meat and Fran. Like that final game, even though we lost, I could see that they really took a step, we lost it, but as I looked at them, it really hurt them. It might have hurt them that they lost, and that was our final game. The seniors, they lost it, whatever. I could just really see how much they cared from the beginning of the season to the end. So I just know once next season comes around, I'd really be proud because I feel like I was a part of something. Once these guys have a great year next year.
I'm sure every Spartan fan wants to know this question, which is why I'm going to ask you. What's next for you? What's the next step for Assad Lamont post-UNCG?
Hopefully I can get a chance at playing overseas, and if not, I want to get some experience in the work field, and I really want to, maybe after a year or so of that, I want to, I think about getting my graduate somewhere, maybe doing a grad assistant, maybe here or somewhere else. So those are the top three things I want to do. First, I want to try to go overseas. If not, I think I'd try to get a little job, get some work experience. Then I'd get back I want to be a grad assistant. I don't want to just do grad school, but I think I'd be a grad assistant. And part-time, I think I'd help out with kids with basketball, like youth. I still do. I did that over last summer, and I think I'm going to continue to do things like that if I can.
Whatever this guy decides to do, he's going to be extremely successful. There's no doubt about it. I kind of want to keep asking you questions because I don't want to see him walk out of this studio for the last time. But Assad, it's been a pleasure getting to know this year, and not just you, but all the guys coming on the show. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Once again, that was Assad Lamont. When we come back, the coach rejoins us and re-preview the 2016 and 17 UNCG Spartans.
You wouldn't waste money buying a snowblower in Miami, so why waste your money on overpriced lunches? Instead, for just $3 at Subway, you can get a delicious 6-inch sub made fresh in front of you. It's the $3 sub of the day, one of our best 6-inch subs, a different sub every day of the week for just $3. The sweet onion chicken teriyaki, the juicy oven roasted chicken, the tender turkey breast. There's an irresistible sub for every day of the week. Subway, fresh is what we do.
Welcome back to the Wes Miller Show, presented by the UNCG Alumni Association. One more segment here with Coach, and we look towards the future in this segment. We spoke about how You think your team took a step this past year. What do you want to tell the returners, or what have you told the returners of one of the biggest messages you like to see them kind of improve on here in the offseason before next season that comes?
Well, we got to finish. I think that's the word that just keeps coming into my brain. And we talked about the end of the Ohio game, Luke, and there were a number of games like that this year. I mean, we have a double-figure lead at Western Carolina early in conference play. We have a 7-point lead with 2 minutes and 7 seconds left against East Tennessee State here at home. We have a 4-point lead with a minute and some change left at East Tennessee State. And there's a couple more examples of that. I mean, we had some games that we really were in the driver's seat in terms of being able to close them out, and we weren't able to do so. So finishing is going to be something that I think that we got to focus on in the offseason. You know, I'm a quote guy. I think anybody that's around me long enough knows that. We have a quote for the day every day, or a thought for the day every day to start practice, and one of my favorite ones is, you may be on the right track, but if you just stand there, you'll get run over. And I don't know who said it. I didn't make it up. But I think that's got to be a focus for ours, is not to sit here and go, okay, we finished strong and we had some good things happen to us. Now we're fine and we're going to be good. No, I mean, I think we have to have that same mentality we had this season, that every day we have to come into the gym. Every day we have to come into the weight room. Every day we have to come into the classroom and in the locker room, and we got to focus on the process of getting better.
Well, one of many reasons I think many people are excited about the future is because of the young talent on this team. When you look at those young guys, Francis, Demetrius, what do you want to see from them? They were huge assets to the team this year, but to take that next step in their progression, which hopefully will make a bigger impact on this team moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, listen, when you have freshmen that are major impact guys, and Francis Alonso and Demetrius Troy were major impact guys, you know, it's in some ways the offseason is simpler for them from a mental standpoint, because they know what to expect now. You know, you can't simulate college basketball until you go through it. So they've been through it. Now they know the level they have to work at. They know what they're preparing themselves for going into their sophomore year. I think some of the biggest jumps we see is from freshman to sophomore year in college basketball, and I think both of those guys have the ability to do that. And they're already major impact guys, but I think they can take their roles to another level in lots of different ways going into next season. And then you have other guys, Lloyd Burgess, who got his feet wet this year and really did some nice things and took some steps. I'd put him in that same category. And then there's some freshmen, Taki Muhammad and Jelani Mofford, and some guys that didn't play. Jelani didn't get the opportunities, and Taki had the injuries, but those guys were able to witness it and be a part of it in practice to some degree. So, I do think when the younger guys in your program continually improve and get better, your program gets stronger and stronger, and we want that from our freshmen to our sophomores. We also want that from our sophomores to our juniors, and juniors to seniors, and on down the line. And like I said, work ethic is one of our core values here.
It seemed anybody that would watch a UNCG game this past year, they noticed you had a huge presence in the paint. One of the many reasons why was because of Kayel Locke. With him gone, you mentioned Lloyd Burgess, another name, but another guy, James Dickey. You'll have a healthy Jordy Kuiper coming back next year. What does it mean from that depth at that position to try to help fulfill a spot that Kayel filled so well for you?
Well, first of all, you don't replace Kayel Locke, at least with one guy. You got to try to fill the void collectively, and I think that our guys can do that. But I'm really excited about some of the depth we could have next year. The length, the versatility, the athleticism, the size. We could have a team in that way that I haven't coached yet here at UNCG. And you mentioned Jordy and the presence he brings with his size and strength. And he's probably, in November and December, we were saying he was our best defensive player, certainly our most impactful defensive player with his communication and presence out there. So that's going to make us a lot better on that end. James Dickey adds a level of length and athleticism, Luke, that we just haven't had at 6'9", and longer than he is tall, and active and bouncy. So we're really going to be able to cover some ground there. Tyke's a long, active guy. So I do think that we're going to get bigger and more athletic, and I think that could help us in a lot of ways. So we are really excited about getting James, into our program finally after a year that he had to sit out this year, and then getting Jordy back and a bunch of other guys as well.
Well, the last thing we'll talk about here on the Wes Miller Show for this year is the news broke last month that the Greensboro Coliseum contract got re-upped. You'll be back there next year, and you get to open up against the Virginia Cavaliers. So to say the least, you and your staff and the team have a lot to look forward to for the first game of the year. But my basic question to you is, what's it mean to go back to the Coliseum for another year for this program, for you and the guys, and to open up against a team that we just watched the other night in the Elite Eight?
Well, look, I didn't know. I'd never thought about us not going back to the Coliseum. When I took the job, I knew that we were really committed to being there to play, and the Coliseum's really committed to us. So I'll be shocked if we're never not playing there and that type of thing. But it's as nice of a facility as there is in college basketball. We're really proud to call that home, and I just hope that we can continue to do the right things, and those stands just keep filling up with people that believe in what we're doing and are excited about what we're doing. And I think that we can take those steps moving forward. And then you talk about Virginia being your first game. We watched them lose last night and in the Elite Eight, and I called my staff and I said the next time Virginia plays, it's going to be, in the Greensboro Coliseum against the Spartans. And that'll be an unbelievable challenge. I mean, the job Tony Bennett's done there is incredible. He's one of the premier coaches, and that's one of the premier programs in college basketball. But those are the type of games as coaches and as players and competitors that you just really look forward to, and we'll certainly be thinking about that one all offseason, doing what we can to prepare to win that one.
Well, to say the least, I think you and the guys will have a lot to be looking forward to for the first game of the year against the Virginia Cavaliers. Well, that's going to do it for the first season of the Wes Miller Show, presented by the UNCG Alumni Association. Huge thanks to the UNCG Alumni Association for sponsoring the show all year long. Also, shout-outs to Matt McAllister and Pat Flesher for making all the interviews happen and the segments come to life this year on the Wes Miller Show. And, of course, a big thank you to this guy. Coach, it's been great getting to know you this year and working with you for the first year.
Likewise, Luke. Thank you so much.
We look forward to year number 2. We'll preview the Virginia Cavaliers, all that fun stuff. And we got plenty of time. Enjoy the summer, everybody. Thanks so much for watching the Wes Miller Show all year long. For the coach, Wes Miller, everybody in Spartan Athletics, I am Luke Martin. And, as always, go Spartans.